Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to be here. सुबह से आप लोगों का बहुत चर्चा हुआ होगा, सस्टेनेबिलिटी में हो और ओवरऑल सेक्टर के बारे में। तो अभी तो शायद ये लास्ट सेशन है और एक है, तो कितना पनिशमेंट देते हैं जो बैठे हैं उन लोगों को। तो अभी तो देखते हैं तो सुबह से वो थक गए हैं और आप उनको और थकाने वाले हैं। So, but I am very much thankful to the Mint for having organized this summit, because ultimately there should be a discussion what we are doing and what has been done in the past and what is the future for the entire world, entire mankind, and what India is doing and what India is going to do. That is a very crucial question for all of us, and that's why I thank the Mint for having organized this. This is the third edition of the Mint Sustainability Summit. This year's theme is adapting ourselves, our practice to mitigate the climate change. तो climate change जहाँ तक मैं जानता हूँ, ये तो हमारे जो सोच था, ओरिजिनल भारतीय जो सोर्स था, सोच था, अगर वो सोच के साथ हम चलते तो मेरा तो ये भावना है, मेरा कन्विक्शन भी है कि ये समस्या ही नहीं आता था। इट इज़ माई फर्म कन्विक्शन, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने पार्लियामेंट में भी कहा था, व्हेन इट केम अबाउट दी सोलार, अभी हम सस्टेनेबल से बात करते करते सोलार के बारे में बात करते हैं, लेकिन जब सोलार का इशू आता है तब से हम बोलते हैं। मैं अभी भी कह रहा था आपके एडिटर वगैरह को कि सोलार क्या होता है, सूर्य देव बोलते हैं हम, क्योंकि सोलार में मीन्स सूर्य के इस किरण में इतनी बड़ी मात्रा में शक्ति है, पहले से हम जानते थे। तो ऐसे तो पवन विद्युत ऐसे बहुत हमारा जो ओरिजिनल सोच में था, तो सृष्टि को एक्सप्लॉइट नहीं करना है, सृष्टि को उपयोग करना है, ये भारत का सोच था, अभी भी सोच वही है। तो कीपिंग दैट इन माइंड, अडॉप्टिंग आवरसेल्फ एंड आवर प्रैक्टिस टू मिटिगेट द क्लाइमेट चेंज, ये क्लाइमेट चेंज के लिए हमारा प्रैक्टिस को भी हमने चेंज करना है। आई एम डिलाइटेड to be delivering the keynote address as the chief guest in this summit. Delighted because as the Union Minister of New and Renewable Energy, I am in the know-how of the government under Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, building a balanced energy ecosystem of the country. जैसे मुझे मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन के बारे में भी कहा, मैं पहला कोयला मंत्री था, तो कोयला उत्पादन डबल करके मैं तो अभी इसमें आया हूँ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी में। आई हैव कम हियर इन द रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी। तो कोयला तो इट वाज अराउंड 560-570 million ton, and now it has crossed 1040 million ton when I left the coal ministry, and today I am here in the renewable energy. And also delighted because as the Union Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, I am leading the initiative to ensure the equitable distribution of the food to our people. That is one of the challenges even in the climate change also, because we all know what happened last year because of El Nino. But in spite of that, we could able to see that even the food inflation, comparatively I am telling, it was quite well under control दुनिया के कंपैरिजन के हिसाब से। और उसी के साथ इस बार हमारा उसके बावजूद भी हमारा स्पेशली राइस प्रोडक्शन, जो पैडी प्रोडक्शन है, वो तो बहुत ज़बरदस्त हो गया है। शायद अभी सोच भी ये चल रहा है कि इसका डिमांड भी आ रहा है कि अभी हम नॉन बासमती राइस को एक्सपोर्ट का तो हमने अभी रिस्ट्रिक्शन करके रखा है, बिकॉज लास्ट ईयर एल नीनो वगैरह मध्य रखते हुए वो भी हम डिमांड तो आया है, सोच चल रहा है कि इसको अलाउ करना है नहीं करना है, बिकॉज वी हैव सफिशिएंट स्टॉक टुडे एंड इवन वी कैन फीड द अदर कंट्रीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ऑल्सो. And thirdly, I am delighted also because as India's former Union Minister of Coal and Mines, I understand how mining is imperative to the progress of our country while the sustainable simultaneously moving towards the adopting the green economy. तो शायद जो हमने when I was coal minister and mines minister, for the first time under the guidance of Prime Minister we have identified the critical minerals. The critical minerals क्या है, what are the real critical minerals, ये भी लिस्ट नहीं हुआ था. अभी हमने 30 मिनरल्स को क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स लिस्ट में डाल के उधर उस क्षेत्र में ज़्यादा काम करने के लिए, माइनिंग करने के लिए, एक्सप्लोर करने के लिए हमने बहुत कुछ स्पेशल प्रोविजन किया है. बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली दिस कोबाल्ट, लिथियम, दीज आर ऑल नीडेड फॉर द सस्टेनेबल एनर्जी ऑल्सो, ग्रीन एनर्जी ऑल्सो. इसमें स्टोरेज के लिए लिथियम का जो है इसका बहुत बड़ा योगदान होता है, तो उसके लिए भी हम काम उधर शुरू हुआ है. एंड शिफ्ट टुवर्ड्स द renewables and sustainability is our ultimate goal, but we also understand that this shift has to be gradual so that our industries get sufficient time to switch and so that India's vast population continues to get access to the low-cost energy. So let us talk not only about the climate change, but let us move on to the path of climate justice to mitigate the climate change. As Prime Minister Modi ji aptly said, when we speak only of the climate change, there is a perception of our desire to secure the comforts of our lifestyle. But when we speak of the climate justice, we demonstrate our sensitivity and resolve to secure the future of the poor. And I am rather proud to say that when it comes to the sustainability, India is not dealing, but we are leading. We are leading in the world now. Today, the world looks up for the significant strides we have made in addressing the climate change. The country has implemented the various initiatives to reduce its carbon footprint, such as promoting renewable energy sources like solar, wind power, improving the energy efficiency, and adopting sustainable agricultural practices. Our progress in the climate action is a testament to our commitment to building the sustainable future for all the citizens and the planet. In last 10 years, India has made significant progress towards the target of zero emission without compromising its economic development. Today at this summit, I am proud to recount there has been a 76% decrease in the tariff for the grid-connected solar power plants, that is from 10 rupees 95 paisa during 10-11 to 2.60 during 23-24. इतना बहुत बड़ा फर्क आया है. Our installed renewable capacity has skyrocketed from 75.52 gigawatt in March 2014 to more than 200 gigawatt as of now. That is the phenomenal, that is 165% increase in the last 10 years. During this period, the total RE generation India has increased from 193.5 billion units to 360 billion units, an increase of 86%. And let me assure you that if you find this past 10 years of impressive, the coming decade will mesmerize you even more. We are growing like never before. In fact, in the first half of 2024, 12.5 gigawatt of solar power has been added, which is 179% increase over the last year. In order to achieve our target of 500 gigawatt non-fossil energy capacity by 2030, government has taken several initiatives. A viability gap funding scheme for the offshore wind energy project has been approved with the outlay of 7,453 crores for installation of 1,000 megawatt offshore wind energy project. We are also implementing the National Green Hydrogen Mission with an overall outlay of 19,744 rupees. This mission is to make India the global hub of production, usage and export of the green hydrogen and its derivatives. As far as if I can put one more, share one more thing. Green hydrogen में now जो Western countries, developed countries जो काम कर रहे हैं, उसके साथ ही साथ भारत में उसी स्पीड में काम कर रहे हैं, ये मैं आपको आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूँ. We are doing, and the people who are sitting, who are from that field, that sector, they are aware, and we are trying to do this in the same speed what the other countries are doing today. National Green Hydrogen Mission is as per the vision of Prime Minister Modi. As he said, we have to move towards to zero defect and zero effect. Zero defect in production with no adverse effect on the environment. This is the policy overall. This is the sutra with which we are going ahead. So we are ensuring that our efforts towards the clean energy do not impact our competitiveness. And with the National Green Hydrogen Mission, we are confident of not only mitigating the climate change, but also moving towards the energy Atmanirbharata. By 2030, the mission targets to achieve at least 5 MMT million metric ton of annual green hydrogen production capacity. Along with this, National Green Hydrogen Mission will bring about the establishment of associated renewable energy capacity of about 125 gigawatt and 60 to 100 gigawatt electrolyzer capacity. Whatever the NGHM, the overall this viability gap funding, the NGHM we are giving, in that there is a very big component for the manufacturing of the electrolyzer also. So this amounts to avoiding 50 million metric ton of annual CO2 and an estimated saving of about 1 lakh crore of the import. This is the impact of overall green hydrogen, what we are trying to persuade, and which has actually work has already started, and in some of the cases also whatever the process has to be completed, process complete करके हमने order भी दे दिया है. For our households, PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana is a game changer. It is set to install rooftop solar panels and provide free electricity up to 300 units every month to 1 crore household. And our farmers, for them, the PM Kusum scheme offers subsidies for installing the standalone solar pumps and solarizing the existing grid-connected pumps. This initiative supports both their farming needs and our green goals. We are also setting up 13,000 megawatt of renewable energy, 9,000 megawatt solar, 4,000 megawatt wind, along with the 12,000 megawatt battery energy storage system in Ladakh. An interstate transmission system would be set up for the power evacuation, and the grid integration of the 13 gigawatt RE projects in the Ladakh and dispatch the power from the Ladakh to the other parts of the country. Not only this, PLI scheme for the high efficiency solar PV models is also being implemented. Rupees 24,000 crore is being put into this program to help boost the manufacturing of the solar panels. Numerous other initiatives are making the renewable energy more accessible and boosting its use across the country. Due to the paucity of the time, I will not discuss with each of the programs in details, but let me touch upon some of the important things. Through renewable energy implementing agencies, we are issuing bids of 50 gigawatt of the renewable energy, 50 gigawatt every year until 2027. We have waived off ISTS charges for moving solar and wind power across the state lines until mid-2025. This also applies to green hydrogen projects until the end of 2030 and offshore wind projects until the end of 2032. We have set the goal for increasing the use of renewable energy through renewable purchase obligation. जैसे आप सब जानते हो, renewable purchase करने के लिए, rooftop solar encourage करने के लिए, states and state-owned discoms, they try to discourage it because they don't want the good customers, good clients of the discom, they should not go away from them, इसलिए discourage करते हैं. हम तो इसलिए renewable purchase obligation जो है, वो तो अभी mandatory किया है and slowly we are insisting their regulators also to see that it is properly implemented. New guidelines are in place for bidding the solar, wind and combined wind solar power projects. We are also setting up the large-scale renewable energy parks to provide land and infrastructure for big renewable projects. Under the Green Energy Corridor Scheme, we are building new transmission lines and substation to help move the renewable energy. Yes, we are right on course to achieve our long-term vision for Vikasita Bharat. As India becomes developed by 2047, we are envisaging setting up of 18,000 gigawatt installed non-fossil capacity in the country with 25 MMT of green hydrogen production. There will be 200 plus gigawatt RE equipment manufacturing. Sector will provide 1 crore job out of all these exercises. We have set ambitious target, I know, but I am also confident that we will achieve them. Meeting the energy demands of one of the fastest growing economies in the world is not an easy task, but under the Prime Minister Modi, we have set up the pace of the sustainable growth for the green economy. The sector is going well and will continue to outpace other by becoming the major driver of the India's economic activities. In fact, I am happy to note that just like India's media and entertainment sector is innovating for the future, India's new and renewable energy is also transforming. Both the sectors play a crucial role in educating and enhancing the public awareness. As we know, the press can shape the perceptions and renewable energy through its reporting. Publications like Mint are doing a good job in disseminating information about the renewable energy advancement, policies, and environmental impacts. From the beginning, I know, if somebody has covered this sector, renewable energy sector, from the beginning, if an economic newspaper which has extensively covered about the renewable energy, that is the Mint, I can very proudly say this. In turn, the renewable energy industry is also uses the media platform for gathering the feedback and extending the social acceptance of the green technologies. Both the sectors are influenced by and contribute to the innovation. The press continually adopts the newer technologies and the platforms like digital and social media, while the renewable energy sector is driven by technological advancements and the innovation in the energy production efficiency. So we are both working towards building the better tomorrow. With these words, let me urge that we continue to work in this synergy, providing each other with information, knowledge that will help our nation and entire planet move towards the sustainable future. I wish the organizer and the stakeholders success in your efforts to build and take New India forward. Thank you. Once again, I thank Mint Publication for having organized this summit. Dhanyavad.